Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Kathleen Carter Bell and I am a professional oboist and college professor. I made this video to help you get started learning your Tennessee Mid-State Etudes, so I hope you find some helpful tips to help you get started practicing. In this video, I am going to be talking about the 9th through 10th grade technical etude. Getting started, I always like to look at all of the information that the composer has provided me right up front, starting with the meter. The meter here is in 4/4, and we play in that all the time, so that should give us some confidence as we get started learning this piece. The key of this etude is in B minor, but with plenty of accidentals. Make sure you remember that accidentals carry through the bar. Make sure you practice slowly early on so that you don't learn these notes incorrectly and get them in your ear wrong. This etude is marked as allegro from 96 to 104 to the quarter note for the tempo. Now that can be pretty fast, so remember slow practice. Do not get too fast too soon. If you do, it will take you a lot longer to learn this etude effectively. Remember, slow practice is not remedial, it is professional. So it is going to be the best way for you to be prepared to nail this etude when it comes time for your audition. When you are actually playing your audition, only play this etude as fast as you can play it musically and cleanly. Remember that faster is not necessarily better, and musicality should always be our goal. Make sure that you make a breathing plan. Breathing in and out is going to be important to make sure that you can play some of these very long phrases. Additionally, make sure you have a plan for getting started, how you're going to take your initial breath to make sure that you start off the etude exactly like you want to. I like to make sure that I'm counting several measures before I come in to make sure I have a precise pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, before I get ready to start playing. Then I like to think 1, 2, out, in, play. 1, 2, play. This is going to mean that I get a nice prepared breath to start and have enough time to get my embouchure all set to make sure that I begin the piece cleanly and confidently with control and ease. Take note of the dynamics in this etude. Many of them are abrupt, so you need to practice sudden dynamic shifts, such as between measures 3 and 4 or in measure 6. Establish the story and the emotions that you want to share musically. Remember, your audience needs to feel what you are feeling, and if you don't have a clear picture, they won't have a clear picture. For this etude, my emotions are spooky and insistent. So I've kind of made up this little story for myself about maybe a persistent little ghost that has something to share. Maybe the fact that we're around Halloween now has something to do with that. Your story can be silly or it can be emotional, but just make sure that it tells us something. Make sure you decide on your phrasing as well. The music should be going to or going away from something, but if it stays static for too long, it can get very boring. The easiest way to give music shape is to remember, up is up and down is down. It's a great place to start by just following the direction of the musical lines. And then from there, if you want to add more nuance, great, but you already have a foundation to build on. When you're practicing, isolate the hard stuff. Make sure you practice in small bits at a time and that you practice slowly. If you are just attacking a couple of measures or a beat or two over and over again, but at too fast of a tempo for you, it's going to take a lot longer for you to perfect your technique. There are a lot of different articulations in this etude, so make sure you check and make sure you're following exactly what is written. In this case, I would recommend practicing passages slurred to get started, which will help you get your direction and shape in the line, and a continuous line as well. Then you can add articulations on that just float on the line of the wind. If everything sounds too pecky or stopped or stuck, then you need to see if you can refine your articulation to flow on the line of air that you are establishing, because otherwise it can feel very broken up and unmusical. Remember that articulations should not interfere with your musical line, but should add character and emphasis. Finally, when you are practicing, simplify. I like to practice in layers, where I play through the etude focusing on one thing at a time. Then I build on that each time, adding new elements. It makes it easier to add things one at a time so that we're not overloading ourselves as we're getting started learning a piece. Focus on getting the notes and the rhythms first, then make your phrasing decisions and practice that. Next, work on dynamics and for pitch as well. Feel free to take the music apart in order to put it back together again. Good luck with your auditions and happy practicing.